He's an extremely talented actor. He's won 4 Emmys for his work on Night Court, and which is on Wednesdays at 9 on NBC. Would you welcome John LARROQUETTE?
Thank you.
Nice to see you.
Wonderful to see you.
Thank you for coming.
I wanted to ask one question, if
Yes.
I could. This is the 3rd annual. Have you been keeping stats on how accurate the weasel is?
The first year, it hit 2 out of 3. Last year, what was it? 2 out of 3.
Uh-huh.
So this year, but what's a weasel now? You know, 2 out of 3 is not bad for a weasel. Actually,
for the zoologists out there, isn't it actually not a weasel?
It's a ferret.
Right. That's what I thought.
So you had to do it, huh?
Well, no, you were going to do it first.
No,
I knew you were going to do it.
I was not going to let that out of the bag. Now you've ruined it. The Sniveling Ferret Awards just doesn't sound right.
No, it doesn't. No.
That's the scan.
Big pest in
You're
England,
scratching
ferrets.
your face because you're growing a beard, obviously.
I am growing a beard. This is some publicity shots I have to do at the end of the week, and it takes me like a decade to look like I actually have a beard, so I had to get a head start on it.
How long do you have to let this beard?
Just till Friday, and then I can. The last show of the season happens Friday, and then I'll be able to. I'll probably let it go, though.
Yeah. I thought you were doing it because maybe the hair was getting a little thin on top. Some guys do that.
Gee, thanks for mentioning
that. No, I know. You brought up the ferret. I'm going to bring up your...
A little shy in the sky, as we say.
Nah, everybody gets that.
Yeah, well, you know, it's weird. You know, you think that you're not going to have to worry about that sort of thing, and it just, you know, I'm thinking of a tattoo would be nice.
Every man as you get older is going to get that male pattern baldness. Everybody practically gets it.
But you know something that I've wondered? You know, guys that have little hair,
yeah,
you know, and have had little hair for a long time, actors particularly, because those are the guys that are in front of us the most. Why is it the older they get, the more hair they buy? I mean, there are some guys out there that really look like they're should be working with Davy Crockett, you know. And I understand it because I'm real vain about it, you know. And I had the ultimate insult. I was in an airport and there were these 3 young girls. They were obviously recognized me and they were ooh. And I went down an escalator and I heard, oh look, he's great, isn't he? He's got a bald spot. That's what it does for your virility.
Chilling,
you know?
chilling, isn't it?
Very much so.
That's nothing to do. Now you're starting your ninth season?
Yes. 9th season. We finished the season Friday, and then we'll take some time off and come back in July for the 9th. And I found a statistic the other day in the paper that we're the 2nd longest running half hour on television right now, next to Cheers. Cheers is 1.
That's right. That is right. Not bad. Cheers, I kept reading they were negotiating. Some of the actors were coming up with some pretty heavy terms to do another year. And you can't blame them, you know. You try to make it while you can.
Yes.
Did you have to negotiate now? No, I'm not asking your personal finances, of course, unless you want to tell us about it.
Well, there was certainly enticements. You know, the way I negotiate is I just keep saying no.
Oh.
You know, it's a clever way, you know, and you just have to be careful when to stop saying no, because eventually they go, okay.
Yeah. Are you good at it?
You know, and then I'm hosting win, lose, or draw. You know?
Are you good at negotiating?
I think I'm fairly good. You know, in our business, as you know, and who cares in America, but there are usually people between you and the actual person that's employing you, and there's this sort of tandem thing that goes on.
So you can be the nice guy, and your agent or your manager can go in and do all the heavy work.
Right? Yeah, they can be the jerks, which is what their job is.
That's
right? I mean, I think that's Latin for jerk, isn't it, agent?
You said it, not I. Not I.
No, I don't mean that, Todd.
How about when it comes to other things? If you go to buy a car.
I'm horrible.
Most people are not good at it. I don't know why they hate to bargain. In most European countries, they expect you to haggle. If you go to a market, they get insulted, literally, if you do not start to do business with them. And I don't think, basically, a lot of Americans feel comfortable with that.
I do. I do it in bullocks.
What do you mean, haggle? You haggle in bullocks?
Absolutely.
Over what?
This suit isn't worth $400. What, are you crazy? I'll give you $350 for it. And sometimes, you know, it's amazing. Americans don't do it, as you said. Yeah. But, you know, if it's particularly in these times when money's a little tighter and stuff, if you're persistent enough and get above the salesman and get to a manager and stuff, sometimes they will deal with you, particularly, obviously, in cars and other things, and pawn shops, which I hang out in a lot.
Did you ever pawn anything?
Yes.
What did you pawn? And why did you have to pawn it? You were broke?
Yes. The very first videotape machine I ever owned, I wound up pawning.
You're kidding.
No. And I got, I think, $30 for it.
Did you ever reclaim it?
Yes, I did. I went back and got it and bought the store.
I pawned a typewriter once. I did.
You did?
Yeah, that's nothing wrong. I pawned a typewriter once early. I need the, you know.
Well, there are stores in Hollywood. I literally found that I went into the attic of a pawn shop, and they had original Picassos, Chagall's.
Oh, come on. Original Picasso. Oh, come on.
I swear to you, with lithos. I mean, not oils, but lithos, signed lithos from great artists.
Where did they come? Where did the 3 balls come from in the pawn shop? You know, that's the...
I think that's because they
logo.
own 2 of yours when you leave. Originally...
I suppose that's as good as anything. I didn't set him up. That sounded like a straight line. I'm setting him up, and you're doing the... Anyway, we'll research that. Anybody in our staff know?
The Medici coat of arms.
It's the Medici coat of arms. The Medici family?
Yes.
I didn't know that. It's the Medici coat of arms. Al Medici. Interesting. Did you know that?
No, I didn't. No, obviously not.
This show becomes a little like PBS between our
I wouldn't have told that stupid
funny
joke
stuff, then we do the PBS stuff. We'll take a break and we'll come right back and watch John's beard grow some more. We are back with John LARROQUETTE. We just, I don't know if you're in the green room when we paid our tribute, I guess you could call it a tribute to the Academy Awards. Have you ever hosted an award show at all?
Yeah, I do occasionally. I actually like them. I did one last week, a local show for the Theater Alliance that gives us lifetime achievements to certain members of the Los Angeles community.
Good.
It's Neil Simon, Gregory Harrison got them this year. Tomorrow, actually, I'm hosting the International Broadcasters Association Awards, the best commercials from around the world. Tomorrow night, actually.
Yeah, we've played some of those. We've done a lot with the foreign commercials and some of the better American ones. Some of them are very, very inventive. You did the commercials for ICU. Now, don't tell me. The Inn. Don't tell me which Inn. Isn't that awful now? I can see you. Was it Holiday Inn?
Yes.
Yeah, you did the Holiday Inn.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun. The character, it was a character, so I didn't mind doing it. It was the first time I'd ever done a commercial on camera.
Right.
I've done a lot of voiceovers throughout the years, mostly because of this resonant combination of whiskey and camels, I think.
Did you ever radio announce at all? You have that?
Oh, yeah, that's what I started. I started in New Orleans in radio at 15 years old.
Did you sit like this?
Yes, I did.
Radio announcers always sat that way in a booth. First of all, you had the great insulation, and you got that kind of reverberation, so they would sit there and go, this is...
Well, it's like singing in the shower. You sound better when you do that. I actually used to practice like this, so that my voice would go right back into my ear. I could get those tones and sound like Walter Cronkite, who was my mentor as a child. To lose my New Orleans accent, I used to copy him and David Franklin.
Where did you go to school?
In New Orleans, mostly Catholic schools.
Yeah.
Holy Cross, all boys.
Were you into sports?
Oh man.
Sorry about that.
No, I was pretty...
Speech major, eh?
As my son would say, I was pretty much a dweeb, I think.
A dweeb?
Yeah, a dweeb.
Is that nerdish?
Yeah, that's real. Like I fell down a lot, and I was very skinny, and I couldn't jump very high.
And you're tall.
I couldn't run without falling down. It was terrible. And I really was not very good at all. I tried out for a baseball team, and the coach said, "Do you know how to bunt?" I went, "Sure."
You had no idea what he was talking about.
So I stood there, and he hit me right in the head with this baseball because he expected me to move.
That was your sporting career,
I was not good. I was a musician, though, so I spent most of my years
What's your instrument?
Reed, saxophone and clarinet.
Are you any good at it?
About 16, I realized I could talk a lot better than I could blow. So.
You still ever practice?
Yes, I sometimes play in my dressing room. I have an alto sax that I bought for my son that he never uses.
Next time? No. Next time you come back?
Well, if we're alone and it's like...
That bad, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
All righty.
I didn't have that innate talent. You know, I think you have to have this sort of affinity for music that I didn't have.
You really do. Anyway, you are finished for the season, or are you still taping?
This Friday, we'll do the last show.
Then what?
Then I'm going to go to, I'm once again submitting myself to the torture of going on a road trip with my family. Well, I love doing it. It's just that we have bad luck with like large vehicles and in the woods and things. But we're going to be, and plus my son is 13 now. It's like being in a phone booth with a pit bull over anything.
That wonderful bonding between father and son, yes. Out in the wilds, tramping the wilds.
You can hear his hormones just going, yeah, whoa, where's the shopping center? Where are the babes?
At 13?
Yeah.
Starts early now, doesn't it?
It does.
Used to be a little, but now it starts very early.
Well, I think it's just, you know, we know more, so we tell them more, and it's this sort of cycle, this never-ending spiral into puberty.
Well, anyway, have a nice time off.
Thank you.
Enjoy
it's going to be wonderful.
We're going to take a break, and we have some more show for you. So stay where you are. Roy Blunt Jr., Anthony Griffiths is here.